You are looking live at AT&T Stadium. It's the Las Vegas Raiders rolling into town to take on the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys here at AT&T Stadium. This is preseason game number 3. Finally, the finale. It's funny how we do this. I'm Mike Fisher, by the way, reporting, your trusted reporter here on CowboysSI.com and the Fish Report. We wait all spring and summer, hurry, and get here. And now that it's here, we want it to hurry up and go away. Here we are in the press box at AT&T as we get you ready for a game that priority number 1, and it ain't even close, because the Cowboys. And Mike McCarthy talked about this, coach of the Cowboys, talked about why it's so easy for him, relatively speaking, to make the decision to not play starters in the preseason. And for the better part of 3 games and the better part of, 24 or so guys, they have indeed avoided having first-team guys, first-team veterans, participate in these games. And one of the reasons is because he knows what he's got on his roster. Now, there are a couple places where he's got to make some discoveries, where the staff's got to make some discoveries, and then cut-down day where the front office has got to make some discoveries as well. But this game is not about, and should not be about, the Dak Prescott level of guy. I saw the quote, it's a great quote from Mike Tomlin, the Steelers coach, who said, I've always believed, and he's explaining why he plays starters in preseason, I've always believed that before you box, you have to spar. And I would suggest that before you box, if you spar and risk getting hurt, then maybe you should just use the first 3 plays of your actual boxing match and just call that your sparring. What Mike Tomlin leaves out is that when boxers spar, they wear headgear. and they're sparring against their friends. They don't have somebody coming at their knee trying to create a job for themselves. So the Cowboys have opted to go with discretion when it comes to that level of guy. And you know what? It's going to work out in the Cowboys' advantage, assuming that they avoid major injury tonight. Not that they haven't had some injuries, obviously. But they will avoid injuries to frontline guys, and then they will use preseason for what it's really for. Not as a tune-up, not to knock the rust off, not to feel like, oh, here's what it feels like to get hit again. Good, now I remember. It's to discover. And it's to develop. This is why tonight's an important night. To me, this is Mazi Smith night. Again, assuming he's involved, and I assume he will be. The backhanded compliment that the coaching staff gave him this week, which is, well, yeah, he's just like any other rookie. He's got to learn. He's Mazi Smith, the first rounder, is supposed to be not like any other rookie. So he needs all the seasoning he can get. Let's call this a Mazi kind of night. We also know that this is a Will Grier showcase. The Cowboys are not going to retain Will Grier because they've just traded for Trey Lance. They will give Will Grier every chance now to show off his wares to the rest of the league. I suppose in a wild scenario, Will Grier would look so spectacular that the Cowboys would be able to get something for him in trade. But that's not realistic, and I don't think that's the goal. The goal for Will Grier is to show off his wares, and the goal for the Cowboys, as it relates to playing him in this game, is to keep the guys that they really need for the regular season in mothballs. Cowboys hosting the Raiders coming up tonight here at AT&T Stadium. Fish out.